Oh. Okay, we're just waiting for a few more people to join. In case there is anybody that you invited for the webinar and they are not yet online, you can check on them and see that they join well in time so that they don't miss out on anything that we're going to be sharing. You are most welcome, everybody. You can take a moment to write down in our chat section anything that you may want to write down in there. Even before we start, from the previous session that we had last week, you may have a question, you may have something that you may have wanted to be enlightened about, and you could take this opportunity to write it down in our chat section, and we shall be very, very happy to share. We shall be very, very happy. The team is readily available to answer any queries, to also clarify on anything that anyone would want to know about. Maybe there is information that we gave you that you needed clarification about. You can as well write it down in our chat section. I'm sure one of the team members will see it, pick it up, and they will be able to reply in time. Okay. So as we all know, our webinar starts at 6 p.m. and it is 1 minute to 6. Oh, right now it is actually 6 p.m. So I congratulate all of us who are already on board for keeping time. That's a very, very, very beautiful gesture. It's a very good thing that you've all kept time. And it's an interactive session, as usual. We contribute, I contribute, everybody contributes in case there is something that you need clarity about. Even when a speaker is still speaking, you can please engage the speaker. You can put up your hand either on your screen directly, or you can put it up within the Zoom application. It will be able to be picked up. And for those of us who have friends who can be able to join via the YouTube link, the YouTube link is going to be shared in the chat section. Mr. Timothy, you can please share the YouTube link to the live webinar in the chat so that any other person can be able to access it. Mr. Thrill, you're more than welcome to the Zoom meeting. You're more than welcome. I am by the names David Wantate, and I'm a representative of Bit2Bit, as you can see here. I'm a representative of Bit2Bit and Satoshi Gardens in part. If you look at your screens, I'm screen sharing something, and I hope all of us can see it. Can we all see the screen that I'm sharing? In case you can see it, just please nod your head vertically or show me a thumbs up like this, and I can tell that you can see the screen that I'm sharing. Mr. Timothy, do you see the screen that I am sharing? Okay. Let's see. Okay. Miss Manjon, do you see the screen that I'm sharing? Okay, very, very good. Very good. Okay. So, as my screen says, today our main point of discussion is the importance of cybersecurity and the role of Satoshi Garden. It is part of bit to big. It is part of the bit to big network. Now, the bit to big network has different sections. It has the section that is called counter 25. Counter 25, that is the section and the branch which deals with direct crypto exchanges. In case a person has cryptocurrency and they want to exchange it for Ugandan money, fiat, they come to our counter 25 branches. And then Satoshi Gardens is the branch of Bit2Big that is directly responsible for imparting skills Gardens is basically to do with anything that is in the bracket of technology. So we all know that cryptocurrency is part of what technology is today. You cannot talk about technology today and you leave out cryptocurrency and you leave out blockchain technology. It is in the name, technology, because cryptocurrency literally operates on the blockchain technology. So we are talking about technology and everything related. So just to give you a simple run through, Satoshi Gardens, it was envisioned by the CEO, and this is not just a training hub as stated here, but for purposes of understanding, we are displaying it as Satoshi Gardens Training Hub, but it is actually much more than a hub. It's much more than a training hub, sorry. It is a center of excellence. It's a center of technology excellence. So anything to do with technology, you want to study something, but you don't have the time to study it for 2 years. You do not have the time to study it for 6 months. Satoshi Gardens is the place where you are going to come to and study that particular skill. It could be in operating systems. It could be in hardware and software. It could be in web development. It could be in cryptocurrency. It could be in blockchain technology. It could be in AI. It could be in digital marketing. It could be in graphics design. It could be in videography. All these things that I have mentioned are the things that we are equipping people with when it comes to Satoshi Gardens. So, before I continue, I would like to welcome Mr. Robert Mugume. You're very, very welcome to the webinar. And please, like I mentioned earlier, feel free to make use of our chat platform, the chat section of the Zoom meeting. In case you have any questions, in case you have any compliments, subtractions as the Zoom goes along, please feel free to write it down, note it down in the chat, and someone is definitely going to make a follow-up on your message. In the chat, the YouTube link has also been shared. In case you have a friend who cannot access the Zoom, everybody can access YouTube, everybody. So there is a YouTube link that Mr. Timothy Mugisha has shared in the chat section. You can please use that link, share it with your colleagues so that they can also follow up with what is going on live, okay? So, thank you for the feedback. I can see that you are sending in the feedback through the chat, and that's very, very beautiful. Okay, I was still telling us about Satoshi Gardens. Now, for the sake of those of us who just joined, I was trying to put across some of the services that are offered at Satoshi Gardens Training Hub. Now, you may be wondering, I've come onto this Zoom meeting expecting to hear about cryptocurrency. Why am I hearing about Satoshi Gardens Training Hub? In essence, what we are doing even right now is a training in itself. Just that it is a free online training whereby we are giving out free knowledge, which some of us may already have, some of us may need clarity about, okay? So beginners and experts alike are all welcome to the platform. Now, Satoshi Gardens is the branch of Bit2Big that powers the training programs, including these webinars themselves. So even when we have a webinar where we're directly talking about cryptocurrency, it has been powered by Bit2Big and in part Satoshi Gardens, because Satoshi Gardens is the training hub. It is the arm of training under Bit2Big. I know we've all got that now. Madame Bola, you're very, very welcome. Bola's iPhone, you're very welcome to the webinar. Now,
thank you.
If you can all see my screen, it displays the importance of cybersecurity and the role of Satoshi Gardens Training Hub. Now, when we talk of cryptocurrencies, this is literally virtual money. You know, we know that this is a whole system of movement of money, trade of money, exchanges that is happening on a virtual space, which is the internet, right? And it is being aided by a technology which is known as the blockchain technology. Now, we all know that a cyber attack, literally cyber means digital. Cyber means something that is digital, not necessarily something on the internet. Everything that is on the internet is digital. But even the SMS that you have in your phone, that SMS wasn't sent over the internet. Oh, Madame Bola has a question. She's raising her hand, please. Madame Bola, I think, was raising her hand. I don't know. Okay. So, as I was sharing, that SMS that you received, it is cyber as well. Cyber literally means digital. Meaning, if I have an SMS that I received from Airtel Network, if someone sends me money on my line, the only way that I'm going to confirm that I've received that money on my Airtel line is by receiving that message from Airtel Money that, Mr. David, you've received such an amount of money from so and so. That is the first way. The second way that I will know that I have received money on my Airtel Money line is by checking the balance on my Airtel Money. I dial *185 and I go through the prompts, and then I can be able to see my balance being displayed on the screen of my phone. You realize that even if you have that money received in your phone, if a person has that SMS altered, okay? If a person alters that message, believe me, you will not know that the money you have in your account is actually the amount that is there. Take for instance, Mr. David sends Miss Mandon 10,000 shillings. But when I send Miss Mandon 10,000 shillings, she receives an SMS from Airtel showing her that your account has been credited with 5,000 shillings. But I have sent 10,000 shillings. The moment she receives that SMS, if it was altered by a hacker somewhere, and they altered the message to read 5,000 shillings, Miss Mandon is going to call me immediately and say, I asked for 10,000 and you said you were sending 10,000. Why have I received the message displaying that I've received 5,000 shillings? You understand? So everything that happens on the digital space is susceptible to a cyber attack, most especially over the internet. Most especially over the internet. Now, I remember some time ago, we discussed that the internet has more than one layer. Most of us are used to this one layer, and that is the layer where we interface every day. The layer where you go to DuckDuckGo or Brave or Google, any of those search platforms that you may be using, and then you put in your search, or the WhatsApp that you're using, the social media platforms that you're using. That is the web that we're used to. But there is another layer of web, and then we have this other one, which we call the Web3. Can we all hear me clearly? Are we all getting me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Miss Amy, so I cannot tell. Okay, if we are getting me, you can just notify me, because in case I'm not clear, I would like to be as clear as possible, right? Am I clear to everybody?
Yes, you are.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so let me continue. You have the Web3. The Web3 is directly responsible for the money that you keep, which is called cryptocurrency, if you have a wallet. The same way you have a physical wallet in your browser. Now, this is the wallet that you have on the internet where you keep your crypto money, where you keep your cryptocurrency. That wallet does not float on the normal internet, on the normal web. It floats on a web category called Web3. Now, Web3 is a little different than the web that we are used to. I know we've all heard of the dark web, and I know we've all heard of the deep web, right? And these are parts of the internet that are there. They are very real. They are very existent, but very many people do not even know the first thing about them. They don't even know that they exist. But these dark webs that you see, the deep web that you see, it has everything about you, whether you know it or not. And all these apps that we keep installing on our phones, all these links that we keep tapping from unknown sources, these links, some of them are malicious, okay? Some of them are malicious. And because they are, people are not going to necessarily destroy the information you have in your computer or in your phone when you have when you've tapped that link. Not necessarily. But a person is going to be able to capture your information. A person is going to be able to capture your information, and they are not going to even leave a trace behind. You will never know that your information was taken. On the dark web, someone is going to go and sell that information for a lot of money, because when they collect information of 10,000 users and they sell it to a certain company, that company is going to buy that information for a lot of money, because they are going to be able to use that data to give you advertisements that are directly focused to you as a user. That's why sometimes you will see yourself and your friend talking about how your phone has grown old, it has cracks, and how you need a new phone. Within the next 10 seconds of scrolling your laptop, you're seeing a phone advert. And you're seeing a phone advert of the very same phone that you were talking about earlier with your friend. Now, this is what I'm talking about exactly. Today's session is going to be rotating around how we are going to be able to protect ourselves from such attacks, okay? So, like I mentioned earlier, we are powered by Satoshi Gardens Training Hub and Counter 25. We are under the umbrella of Bit to Big. So, first and foremost, we have we've had an introduction to cybercrime. I've just given you an introduction to cybercrime and cybersecurity. And then we're also going to talk about the enrollment information for Satoshi Gardens Training Hub and the benefits of training at Satoshi Gardens Training Hub. Because we all know that we have very many computer institutions, computer training institutions. We have almost every university today has a course that is related to ICT, has a course that is related to cybersecurity in a part. So why choose Satoshi Gardens? This is one of the reasons why. Have you noticed that in this day, people have papers, but people do not have skills? We've all noticed that, right? Even you who is watching right now, you may be a culprit of what I'm talking about. You graduated at a certain level, maybe you graduated undergraduate degree at any university, but after your graduation, if they called you for a job placement and they gave you an interview where they sat you down with the person who is in charge of what you're going to do, and they gave you a task to accomplish there and then, most of us would fail to do it. Most of us would fail to do it. And that is because we chased after the papers, but we didn't chase after the knowledge that came with the papers, okay? Satoshi Gardens is a fully practical center of tech practice, okay? Fully practical. In that, a course which you're going to go to the university or some institution and you study for 6 months. When you come to Satoshi Gardens, this same course, you are going to study it for 3 months. And you're going to be at the same expert level as a person who did a certificate of 1.5 years, or a certificate of 1 year, or a diploma of 2 years. And I'm not even kidding, because we have the numbers. We have the people who know these things. The people who are going to be teaching or training in these different courses are people who are tried and true. Now, going forward, what is the importance of cybersecurity? You may be asking yourself, what is the importance of cybersecurity? I've noted down a few here in the slide, as all of us can see. And one of them is cybersecurity. Having the knowledge of cybersecurity helps you to curb threats in the digital world. Yeah, cybersecurity is very crucial due to the increasing threats in the digital world, which can lead to data breaches and financial losses. These are the financial losses that I was talking about earlier. So I'll give all of us an example. There is a case, it's a well-documented case in Uganda here. And it was a case that in part involved Centenary Bank, right? Now, what happened? This is what happened. I have an account with Centenary Bank, and very many other people have accounts with Centenary Bank. The issue was there was a worker in Centenary Bank, okay, who knew his IT. And actually, he was working in the IT department of Centenary Bank. Now, he got in contact with a few colleagues that he works with in the same company, which is Centenary Bank. A few colleagues who have different, various skills and positions that they hold in the bank, right? And this person managed to, let's say, slice a deal with these people. He told them about a certain deal that would benefit them way more than their salaries would. And do you know what this was? Every account holder in Centenary Bank who had a certain type of account, I won't mention the name of the account because you know every bank has different types of accounts that they give to people. So one person can have 4 different accounts in the same bank. One is a savings account, one is a current account, one is a digital account, one is an insurance account. So in one of those accounts, this person decided to remove 100 shillings, 100 shillings like this, from every account, from every transaction that was made, not from the money that was in the account, no, because he could not access that money, but the charges that the bank was making on every transaction. This gentleman managed to alter the money that is levied or the fee that is levied for these transactions. Now, every transaction that was for 2,100 shillings was for 2,200 shillings. Miss Victoria, you're very, very welcome. So this was something that was very, very minor. Even you wouldn't even notice that they've increased the charges by 100 Ugandan shillings. You wouldn't. And even if you did, it would pass over your head because 100 shillings, really. If I'm to tell you the amount of money this gentleman collected, at the end of 2 financial years, that is when they found out during a certain special audit, they found out that this gentleman and the clique that he was involved with had so far gathered 210 billion Ugandan shillings in a span of 2 annual 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. And the funny thing is, this person was still working with the bank by the time the audit came out. You understand? So they were able to curb him. Now, you imagine how 100 shillings becomes a billion, 2 billion, 3 billion, 100 shillings. But how many times does a person transact in a month? Just one user. And how many times do different users transact? You understand? And then how many users are they? How many users are transacting in a month? And then in a year? And then make that 2 years. This could have been worse for any other person. The same way this person was able to get away with this loophole is the same way another person would have been able to get away with a bigger loophole and take away people's money from their accounts. And we've seen this happen. So this is something that none of us would feel good about. Not you, not a relative, not a friend, right? So this is the importance of knowing about cyber security, right? Now, there are certain tools that I may not share right now for purposes of those who are hearing the word cybersecurity freshly in their minds. But for the purposes of other people who may already be well informed, I will be sharing a few in part. Another importance of cybersecurity is ensuring business continuity, right? This is almost self-explanatory. Now, we have the role that Satoshi Garden plays. What is the role of Satoshi Garden's training hub? Okay, so Satoshi Gardens offers comprehensive cybersecurity training. Of course, you can only protect yourself from what you know. You cannot protect yourself from what you don't know. And for you, in order to protect yourself from something, you have to know about that something. Because if you do not know about what you're protecting yourself from, then you may be protecting yourself wrongly, if you get what I mean. So that is why, even in the health sector, when we have vaccines being rolled out to the public, I'll give an example of the COVID vaccine. We all remember the COVID vaccine. When a vaccine is being administered, we all realize that vaccines are rarely administered in one shot. Rarely. Usually, they administer a vaccine a minimum of 2 times. But the first time is they are putting the virus itself or the bacteria itself that they intend to protect you from into your body. And then they are going to give the body a fighting chance. And then when the body gets this fighting chance, they are going to come with the second shot or with the second jab after maybe a week or after a couple of days. And then they are going to give you the antibacteria or the antivirus to whatever they put in your body initially. Meaning, they cannot give you the antivirus before they give you the virus. Okay? Does it make sense what I'm trying to explain? Mr. Edward, you're very, very welcome. So, we all understand what I'm trying to say. So you can only protect yourself from what you know. So it is the reason we are trying to endeavor that we give out this information as much and as often as we can, right? So that everybody can have a fighting chance, okay? Take an instance. If during COVID time, the COVID vaccine was rolled out, but there was no news about a COVID vaccine being rolled out, and only a few people knew about it. The people who did not know about it would have died without even knowing that there was a vaccine on the way. So when you inform the public, then there is hope for a fighting chance. And that is the very same thing that we are doing with these live webinars, if you understand what I'm saying. Yeah? Yes. So at Satoshi, we also promote the best practices. And these may include risk assessment. This is exactly what I've just been talking about right now. Risk assessment, incident response, and compliance with data protection regulations. Now, we have UCC in Uganda, Uganda Communications Commission. We all know it. And our communication companies are directly under the UCC, the Uganda Communications Commission. It means that everything that is aired on the TV, everything that is aired on the radio, everything that is put up on the social media is being monitored and is being regulated by the UCC, Uganda Communications Commission. That is why you see that you will need a VPN to access certain things. By the time you need a VPN to access something, it means that legally it is not accepted under legal access. That is why you're using a VPN in order to bypass that restriction, right? So I'll give us an example. I'm sure we all have Facebook, right? Facebook is an application that back in 2020, when we were coming close to the 2021 national elections in Uganda, it was put down. Facebook was put down. Initially, we used to use Facebook without requiring a VPN, the very same way we use our WhatsApp, right? A point came when Facebook was no longer legally accessible because the UCC had put it down. Now, for all of us to access Facebook after that, up to date, because Facebook has never been put back up in Uganda, it has never. But every other day, we are accessing our Facebook. Daily. We are selling our items on Facebook daily. That is because of the VPN that all of us are using on our individual phones, our individual laptops, in order to access this Facebook we are talking about. Facebook, I was giving us an example. Now, there are things that are way, way worse than mere information, and that is stealing of data. Okay? Cybersecurity experts are actually the biggest hackers. Okay? You know this saying, which goes, "Send a thief to catch a thief." Eh? You cannot send a person who is not a thief to catch a thief because he does not know the ways of a thief. He does not know that if a thief runs from this point, they will use their mind to tell them, go this direction, go this direction. You may go the other direction when the thief went another direction. That's why it's always better to send a thief to catch a fellow thief. So a cybersecurity expert is actually the biggest threat to cybersecurity itself. The advantage is there is a thin line between crime and responsibility. Okay? So a cybersecurity expert is a person who moves with responsibility. It means, I'm sure we've all heard of a term called ethical hacking. We've all heard of ethical hackers, have we? So you know of a hacker and an ethical hacker. A hacker and an ethical hacker are the same person. The only difference is an ethical hacker only hacks for a reason that is going to benefit the person they are hacking. Then a hacker is a person who maliciously enters or accesses a gadget of a person or information of a person without that person's consent. Now, what does an ethical hacker do? An ethical hacker is the person who is going to be hired by a company. For example, Bit2Bit, the company that I am representing, Bit2Bit, may hire a cybersecurity expert, an ethical hacker, and it tells the hacker to access every loophole that they have on their website. And in order for this hacker to be able to close these channels, these loopholes, they have to hack the system. But they're hacking the system with permission from Bit2Bit as a company. In fact, Bit2Bit is paying this person to hack their system. Okay? Now, after the hacker has hacked Bit2Bit's system, then they know the loopholes that they used to hack into the system of this company. And then the very same person is now going to block those loopholes so that another malicious hacker out there will not be able to do the same thing. So that is the role of an ethical hacker. And this is a very, very highly sought after position. It is very, very highly paid, but you have to have your knowledge. So when I talk about Satoshi Gardens and I talk about the cybersecurity, trust me when I tell you that if you come to Satoshi Gardens and learn about cybersecurity, you will be this person that I am talking about. You will be the person that is going to be helping companies and individuals to close loopholes in their systems, in their websites, and also in their gadgets, the gadgets that they have in the workplaces. Okay? Okay, moving forward. You know, cybercrime, just like any other crime, has very, very, very major impacts. And these impacts can be individual, these impacts may be organizational, these impacts may be national, these impacts may even be international, right? In the worst case scenarios, they can even be international, okay? Now, cybercrime can lead to financial losses and reputation damage. Let me give you an example. You see the example I gave us about Centenary Bank earlier? Now imagine this person didn't take away 100 shillings per transaction of every user of Centenary Bank. Imagine this person took away an extra 1,000 shillings per person per transaction that was made under Centenary Bank. It means that the user is being depleted of their funds, okay? Whether they know it or not. Because a transaction that would have cost 2,100 shillings is now costing that very same user 3,100 shillings without an increase or improvement in services. So this in turn is going to end up damaging the reputation of the company that is being hacked or the company whose security is under question. Okay. Now, there are legal consequences to cybercrime, just like every other crime. Okay. There are legal consequences. And some of these may include legal fines and also prison time. It even include prison time, right? And we've had global concerns before, global security concerns that have been brought about due to cybercrime. Okay. There are people who use their cybersecurity knowledge for good, but there are people who use it for bad. Okay. Just like a boxer can use their boxing skills for good by training people how to protect themselves, but the same person can decide to use their boxing skills to steal from people, boxing people on the road. Okay. So it all comes down to a person. You get it comes down to you as a person. With the knowledge that we are going to give you, that we are going to impart in you at Satoshi Gardens, involving cybersecurity, of course, we believe that everybody who is going to sign up with us and train with us is ethical enough to not commit crime. Okay, that is my hope and that is my belief, right? Because you will be learning from the best. You'll be learning from the very best. Yeah. Our CEO is a gentleman that has been in this space for more than 2 decades, the space of cybersecurity for more than 2 decades, right? And he has been in the space of cryptocurrency exchange for more than a decade. When you combine the cryptocurrency and blockchain technology with cybersecurity, these two move hand in hand. They move hand in hand. We've all heard about instances where a person loses all their life savings in a blink of an eye, right? Because of a cyber attack. Okay. Imagine a company can lose tens of billions of shillings in one day due to a loophole in their cyber security. Imagine how much they are willing to pay in order for these loopholes not to exist in their network. You get what I'm saying? So just by acquiring these skills over a span of 3 months, 3 months like this, you are going to be able to reap in ways that you didn't see imaginable, right? And also, speaking of which, these skills, you can use them for your own personal benefit, but then you can use them to benefit other people as well. I'll give us an example. There is this user on on uh, on Facebook. Okay, I know he has different accounts on different platforms. He has an account on X, on Facebook, even on YouTube. What this gentleman does is he's a cybersecurity expert, right? He's an ethical hacker, right? He's not a mere hacker, but he's an ethical hacker, meaning he hacks in order to benefit a company that is hiring his services or to benefit another individual that may not have known that they're under attack, right? So this is what he does. There are these Ponzi schemers and there are these scam artists. We've all had an instance where individually someone calls you out of the blue, someone calls you and they're telling you, hey, good evening, you've won a car. We are calling you from Pepsi company. You've won a car, you were involved in a certain lotto run. You've never even registered for any lotto, but they're telling you you've won a car. Huh? These people sit in offices just like this one. And when they do, they come up with strategies. What they're going to say, who they're going to call, what they have to say to this person, okay? And then this is what they used to do. They send an alert to your phone or to your laptop. And because our IP addresses, for some of us whose laptops are not protected, our IP addresses, whenever you go and you tap a link, maybe you go to Facebook or whatever, you're leaving a footprint of your IP wherever you go. So if a person who is knowledgeable accesses your IP address, meaning the machine that you're using, the identity of the machine you're using, be it a phone or a laptop or a tablet, they can actually send you a notification, or they can send you anything on your screen that is going to baffle your mind, okay? So they will send you something whereby you cannot exit from that page that they've sent you, and you cannot turn off your laptop until you follow the steps that they have lined up for you. And in the end, you're going to either lose your information. In the least case scenario, you're going to lose your information. In the worst case scenario, you're going to lose your money, okay? Because in most cases, they target bank accounts. So there's this gentleman who took it upon himself to go after these people. And what he does is he hacks into the centers where these buffers sit. And then he hacks into their camera systems. He hacks into their computer systems. Of course, on the internet, they're telling you I'm called Emma, but his actual name is David. So this hacker is going to tell the person, you're not called Emma, you are David, and you're seated at City Plaza right now in room B07, and you are trying to steal my money. That's what the guy does. And these people are always surprised at how this guy does it. In the end, he manages to shut down these networks, okay? He's not being paid for it. It is something that he's doing out of goodwill, okay? So you may be earning money from it, you may be doing it out of goodwill, or you may be protecting yourself as a person. Regardless, you're still a beneficiary from this program, okay? Now, you may be asking yourself, okay, but why Satoshi Gardens? Everything he's talking about, I can access anywhere else. Why should I sign up with Satoshi Gardens? So, as you can see on my screen there, we offer expert-led instructions. Yeah, our services and trainings are offered by the best in the business, which in turn reflects in the output of our participants. There is no way you will say that you were trained by the best if you do not produce the best, you know, because we can all speak, but there is that saying that action speaks louder, right? So you are going to be trained by the best, and therefore you will be able to deliver in the best way possible. And we offer cutting edge curriculums. By cutting edge curriculums, we do not follow the theoretical blueprint. We follow the practical blueprint. What skill are we going to impart in you in the shortest time possible after you've paid your money, and you are going to be well placed in a job, and you are going to successfully administer your service in that particular job position? So Our curriculum covers exactly that. And then we have career enhancement opportunities. Yeah. Our participants at Satoshi Gardens have access to networking events and conferences, which enables their personal growth. Now, when you come and sign up with Satoshi Gardens, there are conferences that we are a part of. There are companies that we are partners with, okay? And these companies are not necessarily Ugandan companies. Some of them are companies in Switzerland, some of them are companies in Nigeria, and some of them are companies in South Africa, Rwanda, and so on. Now, if we have a trainee who is training for cybersecurity, for example, and there is a cybersecurity conference that is happening in Switzerland, but this particular trainee is actually good at what they are studying. They are studying it and they are actually good at what they're doing. They are getting it. There is no reason as to why the CEO won't see it fit for this person to be taken to Switzerland as a representative from Satoshi Garden, because Satoshi Garden trusts that this person is knowledgeable enough to represent us as a brand, right? These are some of the benefits that come with training with Satoshi Gardens training hub, right? And then we also have hands-on practical exercises. Our training, like I said before, is more industry-driven rather than theoretical in nature. It is, because we have very many graduates, and it is not out of their own will that they do not have jobs. It is not out of their own will that they cannot even deliver if they were given the jobs, right? But the system, the curriculum is full of theory. At Satoshi Gardens, what we decided to do differently is we give you the practical bit, the exact thing that you need, so that you have value for money and you have value for the time that you're actually spending while training there, right? Also, we can look at the impact of cybersecurity training. Cybersecurity training, people, we have proper risk mitigation strategies. Now, I've talked about this. If there is a risk, the only way you can mitigate a risk is by knowing what the risk is, so that you can protect yourself from that particular risk, right? So these are some of the things that come with the knowledge you've acquired under cybersecurity. We have up-to-date data protection measures. By data, we mean your personal information. It may be your national identity information. It may be information involving your banking details. It may be information from your insurance, your medical insurance. This is information that you do not want out there floating around out there, right? Also, it helps ensure compliance with cyber laws and regulations. When we look into the crypto space, for example, in the crypto space, we have very, very many people who are doing the wrong thing, okay? They mastered the art of how profitable crypto trading can be. It is very, very profitable. When you've given it your time, the same way you give time to any other skill, be it marketing, be it art, be it music, the same way you give time to any other skill. If you give that time to cryptocurrency trading, for example, you're going to become an expert in a certain period of time, depending on what practices you're doing. Now, there are people who figured out how profitable this can be. And what they decided to do is they decided to take advantage of those who didn't know about it, okay? That is why these days, when you tell a person who has just heard about cryptocurrency, but they do not know about it, when you try to tell them about it, the first thing that they're going to say is, we all know what I'm talking about, right? Because I'm sure we've all been there as well. They're going to ask you, because they do not know. And it is our role as Satoshi Gardens to let you know, to let every other person know about this profitable venture. Now, I cannot talk about cryptocurrency. In fact, I cannot stress this enough. I cannot talk about cryptocurrency and not talk about cyber security. Because with all this money that is floating around on the internet, right? If there is no cyber security, if there is no security, the losses that people would make would be life-threatening, to say the least. They would be life-threatening. People have their savings in their banks. People have their savings in their wallets, in their crypto wallets. People have their savings in, people are actually trading. They're trying to make money. If there is no security, it is all for nothing. You will accumulate money over a full year after hard work, after hard dedication, and then in one click, someone in India will take away all your money in one click. It hurts. Now, the beauty about cryptocurrencies, in the last session, last Friday, we discussed about cryptocurrencies. And the session before that, we also discussed about cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. The beauty about cryptocurrencies and the beauty about crypto, blockchain, is that this technology on which cryptocurrency operates, the blockchain technology, is almost unhackable. Almost unhackable. Even the best of hackers may find it really, 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 really hard to access your funds when it comes to cryptocurrencies, which is not the case when it comes to our normal banking systems. You understand? I've already given us an example here of a certain individual who was working in a certain bank who took advantage of a certain loophole in the system, and he added 100 shillings to the service fee of every transaction of every user in that bank over a span of 2 years. And he went off with billions of Ugandan shillings, right? So when we look at cryptocurrencies, on the other hand, that is something that is very, very, very unlikely, because the people who developed the blockchain technology, in my own understanding, were some of the best cybersecurity personnel you can ever know. Because they say, we all know this saying, that if a person has been bitten by a snake once, even if they see a rope, they will jump, right? This person will be very cautious. The people who develop blockchain technology, on which cryptocurrencies sit, or on which cryptocurrencies move and are transferred, is very, very secure. It is very, very, very secure. It is the reason as to why we are trying to get the information about cryptocurrencies out there as much as we can, because we know how secure of a system it is. It's just about a person learning, acquiring information, and that information is what we are willing to provide at Satoshi Gardens. Here in these webinars, we usually do not have enough time to expound on everything that we may want to talk about in every subject that we bring up, because we usually have about 1 hour of discussions, right? About 1 hour. We cannot expound on everything in 1 hour. So in most cases, we give you some of the information, and the rest of the information, we expect that you reach out to us through our WhatsApp. We have groups. Mr. Timothy is going to share a link to the WhatsApp group for some of us who may not be in the WhatsApp group yet. You could also reach us on the contacts that we provide. On the screen that I'm sharing right now, there are contacts as well that you can reach out to just to make more inquiries, or even if you want to enroll at Satoshi Gardens in any of the fields that I've talked about, cybersecurity or cryptocurrency or IT or blockchain technology or software and hardware or web development or software design or digital marketing or graphics design, videography, all these things, you can actually sign up, come, learn in the shortest time possible. People, I cannot stress this enough. You're going to study something for 3 months from the best of the best. And you are going to be better than a person who has studied theory of the same thing for 2 years. And you're going to be able to make money. The other beauty is that here at Satoshi Gardens, we help with job placement. If we have a student, if we have a trainee who has shown promise, who has shown progress, who has shown good work, there is no way that this student is gonna go. There's no way this individual is gonna go jobless. It is not possible. We are going to help as much we can for you to have the right placement, not just any placement, but the right placement in relation to the knowledge that you will have acquired with us, right? The numbers are on your screen, the numbers that you can reach out to via both WhatsApp or phone call. So I'm going to open this up to any questions that any individual may have, and I shall be very, very happy to answer. So you can unmute yourself if you have an inquiry, and I'll be very, very happy to answer. Any inquiries? Anybody? Any questions?
Hello.
No questions?
Hello.
Yes, yes, Mr. Robert.
Oh yes, I'm excited to be.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I couldn't quite get you well.
Are you getting me right now?
Yes, I can get you.
Okay, thank you. My name is Woman. I love numbers. I love data. In sometimes
I can't get you clearly. Do you hear clearly?
hello.
I cannot quite get you very well.
Are
I
you
don't know
getting
why. I get you and then I lose you.
even now?
Now I can get you.
Okay, yes. Allow me for the quick going. Don't wait. Allow me here, and of course, for people who read this, because the world. So one of the performing on, are you getting me?
I'm struggling to get you honestly. I don't know why. Perhaps you can write a message. I think it was an issue with the network where you are. I'm not sure. But Mr. Timothy and Miss Amy, Miss Mandon, they'll be happy to take on any messages that you put into the group. In case you have any queries, any other person, in case you have a query, please feel free to inquire. Oh, okay. So Mr. 3 was inquiring, when do the lessons start and where is the training going to take place? That's a very good question. So the training is going to take place at Satoshi Gardens. The institution is located in Kansanga. So in Kansanga, right after KIU towards Gaba Road, there is Seroma Hardware, just along the road, Seroma Hardware, just along the road from Kansanga towards Bunga. There is Seroma Hardware, and just, it is like a few meters behind Seroma Hardware. So you branch off from Seroma Hardware, and there is a road that is called Olympia Close, Olympia Road. And therefore, Satoshi Gardens is just opposite Hotel Olympia. Right opposite, the gate of Hotel Olympia is opposite the gate of Satoshi Gardens. So that is where it is. And Mr. Thrill was also asking when the trainings are going to start. So the trainings are starting as soon as 22nd. So the trainings are starting on 22nd of this very month of August. 22nd of this very month of August. And we have the fees structures. We have the fees structures well broken down into 3 levels. The first level being the fundamental level, or some people may call it the beginner level. And then there is the medium level, and then there is the expert level. Each of these levels takes 4 weeks of training. Each of these levels takes 4 weeks of training. And that is why I mentioned earlier that in 3 months, you're going to have acquired the skills that a person who has been in the industry for 2 years has acquired, okay? Because you're going to be trained by the best, and you're going to be trained in exactly what you need, not what you do not need. Exactly what you need is what you're going to be given. The money-making skills are the ones you're going to be given. You're not going to be given any skills outside of what is currently on demand in the market, right? Pertaining cybersecurity and any other course I may have mentioned along the course of the Zoom webinar, we are giving practical, hands-on money-making skills, whereby when you walk out of the institute, when you walk out of the training hub, when you walk out of the institution, you are fully equipped to make money, either for yourself or for your company that you may have opened up. Yeah? Yes. I don't know if we have any more questions. So, Ms. Mandon Ayebare has shared the link to our WhatsApp group. Always feel free to inquire about anything in that WhatsApp group. So when you come into the WhatsApp group, just tap that link. It will take you straight there. And when you go there, you will be able to inquire about anything. We shall be able to share the fees structure for any course that you may be interested in. And remember, we also help. We do not guarantee job placement. I don't want us to get me wrong. We do not guarantee job placement, no. But we go a long way in aiding the job placement for the people who have actually trained with us. So that you don't just get any job out there, no. So that you get a job that is befitting for the skill you've acquired. Any other question? Any other question? Okay, I'm going to invite Mr. Timothy to just give us some closing remarks, and we shall call it a meeting. Mr. Timothy?
Mr. Devi,
Yes, please.
I think Mr. Timothy's battery shut down a few minutes.
Okay. Well, can he use your phone, maybe?
Can you use my phone?
Hello, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you so
Hello,
much.
Mr. Timothy.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. David. Yes, thank you so much, everyone who has tuned in. We really, really appreciate your time you've given to us. It's not easy to join. Thank you so much. Shall be welcoming you in the group. Yes, thank you so much. The closing remarks. The other courses we have, apart from cybersecurity and cryptocurrencies, we have web development. So if you're interested in web designing, web development, you're also welcome. We have courses in marketing, social media marketing. We have courses in blockchain. If you're interested in knowing more about blockchain technology, we also have courses in there. We have courses in trading, stock trading, forex trading, and any other type of trading. We have those courses and very, very many IT-related courses. So thank you so much for coming this far with us. We really appreciate your effort. And please use this link that we have provided in the comment section to join in the group where we are going to provide more news and a lot fun information in there. Yes, back to Mr. David.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Timothy. Now we shall have the end of our meeting. Thank you, everybody, for having joined in. Thank you, everybody, for the time you put apart to be a part of this meeting, to be a part of this webinar, to be a part of this training. And we hope to see you again next Friday as we have another session, because we have them every Friday, same time at 6 p.m. Thank you, everybody, and God bless you. See you again next week on Friday. Oh, thank you. That was a nice presentation.